Welcome back to the channel. Tonight I am excited to be bringing you finally a Leatherman juice. I've been waiting on this for a long time and I finally found one for I think around $40. These are just becoming increasingly more expensive, and I think I was able to find this a little cheaper because this will be one of the lightest models, the C2, with the least amount of tools. So I do like the ones that have the saw as well, but I settled for this one because I really wanted to get a Leatherman juice. In the future, I'll be comparing this with the SOG Power Pint, but for now, let's just look at the Leatherman juice itself. One of the first things you'll notice is it has a fairly long set of pliers for the small size, so I was pretty happy with that. I've heard people complain that the pliers are pretty weak or pretty small, but I feel like for the size of the tool, they actually do a pretty good job. And then we have the wire cutters as well. I don't think many people will be using these wire cutters, but they actually do a really good job. I'm surprised. So for the size of the tool, they actually cut really well. Better than some of the other Leathermans I've tested, actually, the larger models. All right, so working down the handle, we find these tools for opening wine bottles. I really don't get into that, but I was thinking that maybe the flint, fire steel, or whatever, the ferrocerium rod that you can find in some of the Swiss Army knives, I was wondering if that would work in this. If you've tried that before, let me know in the comments below. Always good to hear what other people have tried. And then we do also find on this side the Phillips. Now I have read that this accepts the bit adapter, for instance, that the Leatherman rebar uses. So I have not tried that out myself, but that's what I've read. And then on the other side, we find there are two of the flat screwdrivers. So we find the micro and the little bit larger, still pretty small, but these are the two sizes that are in this particular C2 juice. Then on the outside, of course, we have these tools over here, and then it does come with a knife as well. Now this one I got used, so the knife on mine is not very sharp. It does need sharpened, but I believe this is somewhere around a 2.5-inch blade on this knife. So overall, I really like the Leatherman juice. I feel like it's a really nice multi-tool. I am disappointed that it does not have a pocket clip. I'm one of those people, I really love to have a pocket clip. Otherwise, it just feels like it swims around in the bottom of my pocket. It gets lost. I keep a fairly large key ring, and so when I try to grab for my multi-tool, something this small without a pocket clip just sort of gets lost. So that's the one thing I was fairly disappointed with. Even though I knew it did have a pocket clip, I really wish it had. The other thing is, it is a little bit harder to mod this. Obviously, Leatherman probably isn't that excited about people modding their tools, but they made it basically impossible unless you want to literally grind these rivets off, which several people actually have done. Now, as far as the pocket clip, I have seen several options of very small tool pouches where Leatherman came out with a leather one, I believe, where this sort of sat in a V shape, where the pliers came out the bottom. These were on either side, then the flap came over. And then there was a clear plastic model where the juice sat so, and then there was a clip on the back and it just sat in the plastic holder. So I actually would like that plastic option. I haven't really checked, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of those holsters for sale recently, but I haven't really looked into it. All right, so also I wanted to mention there are several Leatherman fakes floating around, Leatherman juice fakes floating around on the internet. So for instance, on AliExpress, you can find a fake which is made by the company RUISS. So I believe the model is called 1029, the Roos or Rice 1029. It is no longer being made. Maybe one model is. I sold one model for $30, but it seems like at the bottom of the page, they basically said it was out of stock or discontinued. So you can check into that, but there are several models you will find on eBay Again, you can only find these used, so make sure that it actually says Juice on it. Some of those other models, they look very, very similar. I think they're actually a little bit smaller than the Juice, but they look identical almost when you look at them. They've got the same rivets and everything. Even the tool set is very similar. I actually had one in the mail, and the Postal Service nicely lost it for me, so I will not be able to share that with you because I probably will never see it myself. All right, so this has been the Leatherman Juice. I really like this multi-tool. I like the small size. Disappointed that it doesn't have a pocket clip. What I think Leatherman should do is make a Leatherman Free Series juice. Now, the Leatherman Free Series has gotten a lot of flack. I personally love my P2, but it's gotten a lot of flack in that it has very small tools, or smaller tools, almost wingman-like tools, or sidekick. And I feel like if they made a small version of the P2, that would be perfect. A small version with a pocket clip, outside opening tools, that would just be fantastic. And I know I, for one, would love to buy something that was more in the 3-inch, 3¼ inch range from Leatherman. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.